Frasier is celebrated as one of the smartest and most successful sitcoms of all time, known for its clever writing, unforgettable characters, and award-winning performances. The show's brilliant cast played a huge role in its success, bringing charm, wit, and heart to every episode. However, over the years, some of the actors who made Frasier so iconic have sadly passed away, some due to long illnesses, others in tragic or unexpected ways. In this video, we take a look back at the lives and careers of these talented stars, exploring their personal stories and the heartbreaking moments that followed. Join us as we pay tribute to the unforgettable actors we've lost from the world of Frasier. John Mahoney was born on June 20, 1940, and portrayed Martin Crane in Frasier starting in 1993 at the age of 53. Martin, the gruff yet loving retired cop and father of Frasier and Niles, grounded the show's intellectual comedy with his straightforward, working-class sensibility and dry humor. His character's practical wisdom and stubborn charm created memorable family dynamics amid the Crane brothers' neuroses. Though Mahoney was beloved on-screen, his career was marked by repeated frustrations. He often lamented being typecast as the older everyman and struggled to land leading roles despite critical acclaim. Off-camera, Mahoney lived a mostly private life but reportedly battled bouts of heavy drinking in his younger years, which he kept hidden from the public. He never married or had children, leading some insiders to speculate about personal loneliness. Health issues including brain disease and lung cancer quietly plagued him in later years. John Mahoney passed away on February 4, 2018, aged 77. Alice Plen was born on August 28, 1947, and appeared as Bonnie on Frasier in 1999 at age 52. Bonnie's quirky, lovable oddball traits echoed Plen's unique screen presence and voice, but behind her vibrant roles lay a difficult personal battle. She struggled for years with juvenile diabetes, a chronic illness that sapped her energy and complicated her life. On top of health challenges, Plen endured several turbulent relationships and was known for her fiery temper, which reportedly caused tension on sets and in her social circle. Friends and co-stars hinted at her occasional reliance on prescription drugs to manage pain and mood swings, contributing to erratic behavior in private. Despite these struggles, she remained fiercely dedicated to her craft until her health dramatically declined. Alice Plen died from heart failure, compounded by pancreatic cancer, on June 25, 2011, aged 63, leaving behind a story of resilience shadowed by personal and medical hardships. Conrad Janice was born on February 11, 1928, and guest starred as Albert on Frasier in 1997 at the age of 69. Albert, an eccentric neighbor, brought quirky charm and comic relief, a perfect fit for Janice's own unconventional personality. While he earned praise for his jazz trombone career in roles like Mindy's father in Mork and Mindy, Janice's life was far from smooth. Industry insiders recall his frequent clashes with producers and directors, especially over his insistence on blending music with acting, which sometimes derailed projects. His temperament could be volatile, causing tension on set and alienating collaborators. Personal relationships were equally fraught, with reports of long-term solitude after several broken romances. Despite no major public scandals, whispered stories reveal a man who struggled with loneliness and creative frustration. Janice died from organ failure on March 1, 2022, at age 94, closing the curtain on a life marked by brilliance shadowed by isolation and conflict. Phil Donahue was born December 21, 1935, and played Larry in Frasier in 1999 at age 64, essentially portraying a heightened version of himself. Larry's sharp wit and cultural significance mirrored Donahue's pioneering influence as a talk show host who revolutionized daytime TV. Despite his professional success, Donahue's personal and public life was marked by controversy. Known for outspoken and often polarizing political views, he faced blacklisting rumors and a decline in mainstream popularity. His personal life was equally tumultuous, featuring a messy public divorce and frequent disputes with colleagues and producers, some alleging bullying and aggressive behavior behind the scenes. Though widely respected, insiders describe him as mercurial and hard to work with, traits that fueled numerous media scandals. Donahue died on August 18, 2024, at age 88 of natural causes, his legacy a complex blend of groundbreaking media work and personal turmoil. Piper Laurie was born on January 22, 1932, and portrayed Mary Ann in Frasier in 1994 at age 62. Mary Ann was a complex, emotionally volatile woman who left a powerful mark despite her brief appearance. Laurie's career was dazzling but turbulent, marked by a series of public and private storms. Known for her explosive temper and fierce independence, she often clashed with directors and co-stars, which cost her significant roles. Her personal life was equally stormy, including a high-profile, bitter divorce that exposed deep family rifts and estranged her children for years. Her candid memoirs revealed dark chapters of harassment in early Hollywood and a lifelong struggle with depression and substance abuse. Despite this, she was fiercely protective of her privacy and rarely discussed the full extent of her scandals publicly. Piper Laurie passed away on October 14, 2023, aged 91, from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy as brilliant as it was bruised. Rene Alberin was born June 1, 1940, and appeared as Dr. William Tewksbury on Frasier in 2001 at age 61. His character, a calm and intellectual psychiatrist, served as a subtle mentor figure, matching Alberin's refined and authoritative acting style. Beyond his professional poise, Alberin wrestled with prolonged bouts of depression and isolation, exacerbated by years of being typecast in niche roles that frustrated his artistic ambitions. Although admired publicly as a consummate professional, behind the scenes he was known to have clashes with directors and occasional difficult behavior attributed to his mental health struggles. His battle with metastatic lung cancer was fought quietly, away from the spotlight. Rene Alberin passed away on December 8, 2019, aged 79, his death marking the loss of a gifted actor who endured private pain beneath a polished exterior. Rosemary Murphy was born on January 13, 1925, and appeared as Carol Larkin in Frasier in 1997 at age 72. Carol was a dignified and somewhat aloof woman whose presence brought an air of sophistication and subtle tension to the storyline. Murphy's career was filled with critical acclaim, yet beneath her polished public image lay a quiet battle with chronic health problems and deep personal loneliness. Despite her fame, she never married nor had children, leading some to speculate about a private life marked by isolation. Colleagues noted her intense dedication to acting but also a guarded personality that kept many at arm's length, fueling rumors of difficult relationships behind the scenes. Though free of major scandals, her twilight years were tinged with sadness as she faced declining health and faded public attention. Rosemary Murphy died on July 5, 2014, aged 89, from esophageal cancer, closing a chapter on a life both illustrious and quietly tragic. Mako was born on December 10, 1933, and played Sam Tanaka on Frasier in 1994 at age 61. Known for his sharp, commanding presence, Sam Tanaka mirrored Mako's real-life intensity and dignity as a pioneering Asian-American actor and co-founder of the influential East-West Players theater group. Despite his trailblazing status, Mako privately struggled with Hollywood's persistent racial stereotyping, which restricted his roles to typecast characters, causing deep frustration. Colleagues often described him as a perfectionist with a stubborn streak, which sometimes led to on-set tensions and clashes with producers who resisted his push for better Asian representation. Though he avoided major public scandals, Mako's strong-willed advocacy occasionally isolated him within the industry. In his later years, he battled esophageal cancer, a fight he faced with quiet determination while mentoring younger actors. He passed away on July 21, 2006 at age 72, remembered as a fiercely talented pioneer whose career was marked by both groundbreaking achievements and the personal cost of systemic barriers. Lyndon Childs was born on March 22, 1933, and portrayed the Dean of Admissions on Frasier in 2002 at age 69. His role as a stern, intellectual authority reflected the typecasting he endured throughout his career as comm professionals, but behind the scenes, Childs wrestled with a long-standing battle against alcoholism. This struggle severely impacted his work ethic and relationships, with several directors and co-stars describing him as unreliable and difficult to collaborate with due to unpredictable mood swings and frequent absences. Despite keeping his personal troubles largely private and avoiding public scandal, those close to him spoke of a profound loneliness and emotional isolation, amplified by estrangement from family members. Childs' health declined over time, worsened by his substance abuse, and tragically, his life ended following a fatal fall from the roof of his home on May 15, 2013 at age 80. His legacy remains a mix of professional dedication shadowed by private demons that ultimately took their toll. Lincoln Kilpatrick was born on February 12, 1932, and portrayed Artie Walsh in Frasier in 1994 at age 63. Artie's warmth and nostalgia brought out a softer side of Martin Crane, but Kilpatrick's life off-screen was far more turbulent. Despite his groundbreaking career as the first African-American member of the Lincoln Center Repertory Company, Kilpatrick faced persistent racial discrimination and industry typecasting that stalled his upward trajectory. His personal life was marked by multiple failed marriages and bitter divorces, with tabloid reports exposing allegations of controlling and abusive behavior toward his spouses and estranged children. These scandals, though never legally pursued, stained his public image late in life. His battle with lung cancer was compounded by isolation, depression, and rumored substance abuse, painting a picture of a man wrestling with demons behind the dignified exterior. Kilpatrick died on May 18, 2004, aged 73, his struggles largely overshadowing his artistic achievements. Robert Proski was born December 13, 1930, and appeared as the eccentric author T.H. Houghton in Frasier in 1996 at age 66. His character's emotional guardedness echoed Proski's own complex nature behind the scenes. Despite a rich acting career, Proski endured early financial hardships and career setbacks that nearly forced him out of acting. Whispered backstage conflicts and unconfirmed reports of disputes with producers and cast members occasionally surfaced, hinting at a man not always easy to work with. His personal life was marked by periods of marital strain and rumors of infidelity that he kept carefully private, never spilling into public scandal. Health issues, particularly chronic heart problems, increasingly affected him in later years. Proski passed away from heart failure on December 8, 2008, aged 77, leaving behind a reputation as a gifted but sometimes guarded artist. William Morgan Shepard, born August 24, 1932, played the stern Mr. Drake in Frasier in 1995 at 63. Mr. Drake's intimidating presence reflected Shepard's specialty in portraying authoritarian figures, but his real life revealed a more troubled character. Though classically trained and highly respected, Shepard developed a reputation for being difficult to work with, frequently clashing with directors and colleagues over creative differences. Industry rumors suggest bouts of alcoholism and a volatile temper contributed to his fractious relationships on set, causing delays and tensions. Personal life was equally strained, marked by a long period of estrangement from his family fueled by his obsession with perfection and controlling tendencies. Those close to him described episodes of deep depression and paranoia, especially later in life. Shepard's death on January 6, 2019, aged 86, closed a career that balanced brilliance with personal shadows few knew. Scott Atkinson was born July 23, 1966, and played Clive, Daphne's ex-fiancé, in Frasier in 1996 at just 30. Clive's hapless charm belied the darker realities of Atkinson's life off-screen, which was marked by intense battles with substance abuse and erratic behavior. Although recognized for his comedic talent and charisma, Atkinson's promising career was repeatedly interrupted by rehab stints and rumors of legal troubles related to drug possession. Friends and colleagues recounted chilling episodes of overdose and manipulative tendencies, alongside volatile outbursts that isolated him professionally and personally. His romantic relationships were tumultuous, with several high-profile breakups amid allegations of infidelity and abuse. Ultimately, Atkinson's life was tragically cut short by a fatal drug-related incident involving painkillers and cocaine on February 26, 2021, at age 54, underscoring the devastating toll of addiction on Hollywood's fringe. Fritz Weaver was born on January 19, 1926, and played Sir Trevor Ainsley in Frasier, 1998, at age 72. His role as the distinguished British author lent a sophisticated air, his character quietly influencing the plot with subtle wit and intellectual depth. Weaver's career was celebrated on stage and screen, earning a Tony Award and acclaim for performances in Holocaust and Creep Show. Yet behind this dignified exterior, Weaver endured a lonely personal life marked by estrangement from family and long periods of isolation. Colleagues recalled his reputation as a perfectionist who could be cold and unyielding, leading to tensions and lost roles in Hollywood. Despite no public scandals, those close to him spoke of a man battling bouts of depression and frustration with the industry's youth-driven focus. His later years were shadowed by chronic illness and fading relevance, culminating in his death on November 26, 2016, aged 90, from complications related to illness. John Sigen was born April 27, 1954, and portrayed the boisterous Doug Harvey in Frasier in 1996 at 42. Doug's confrontational style mirrored Sigen's off-screen reputation as a talented but sometimes difficult figure in the industry. While admired for his voice work and versatility, Sigen was infamous for on-set clashes with directors and co-stars, often fueled by struggles with alcohol and mood swings. Industry whispers spoke of his volatile temper and unpredictable behavior, contributing to a reputation for being hard to work with. His personal life reflected this instability. He endured a messy, public divorce and experienced estrangement from his children, deepening his sense of isolation. Despite these challenges, Sigen was also remembered for moments of generosity and warmth within his inner circle. He died from cancer on May 13, 2017, aged 63, leaving a complicated legacy of talent intertwined with personal turmoil. Robert Logia was born on January 3, 1930, and portrayed Stefano in Frasier, 2000, at age 70. His character embodied a bold, magnetic presence, mirroring Logia's iconic tough guy image forged in films like Scarface and Jagged Edge. Despite decades of steady work, Logia's personal life was tumultuous. His marriage collapsed amid public allegations of infidelity and bitter legal battles over finances and custody, exposing a less polished side of the Hollywood star. Career setbacks included a quietly settled harassment lawsuit from a former assistant that threatened to derail projects. Off-screen, Logia struggled with alcoholism, causing missed shoots and strained relationships with directors and co-stars, a fact rarely acknowledged publicly. His hard drinking lifestyle reportedly exacerbated health problems in later years. He passed away on December 4, 2015, aged 85, after a prolonged battle with Alzheimer's disease. John Glenn was born on July 18, 1921, and made a cameo appearance as himself in Frasier, 2001, at age 80. As the first American astronaut to orbit Earth and a long-serving U.S. Senator, Glenn was a celebrated national hero. However, beneath the public admiration lay a life marked by hidden struggles, including secret battles with PTSD stemming from his space missions, a fact kept confidential by the government during his career. His marriage, while publicly stable, endured lengthy periods of estrangement, with rumors of infidelity carefully hushed to protect his image. Politically, Glenn was known for ruthless maneuvering and intense rivalries, revealing a complex figure behind the dignified facade. Despite widespread respect, his personal life was burdened by loneliness and the immense pressures of his legacy. Glenn died on December 8, 2016, aged 95, from natural causes, leaving behind a nuanced legacy that balanced heroism with human vulnerability. Emmit Walsh was born on March 22, 1935, and portrayed Rich Keckner in Frasier, 2001, at age 66. Known for his gritty, everyman presence, Walsh's character brought a rough-edged humor that perfectly contrasted Frasier's sophisticated world. Walsh's extensive career spanned decades, with memorable roles in films like Blade Runner and Blood Simple, but it was not without turmoil. In the early 1980s, he faced a serious setback when arrested for drug possession, a scandal that nearly ended his professional life. On set, Walsh earned a reputation as difficult and cantankerous, with some colleagues fearing his temper while others admired his commitment to craft. His personal life was equally troubled, marked by a bitter divorce that revealed years of alcoholism and allegations of emotional abuse. Despite later attempts at stability, rumors persisted of ongoing struggles with gambling addiction and volatility. Walsh passed away on March 19, 2024, aged 88, from cardiac arrest, leaving behind a legacy both respected for its artistic merit and shadowed by personal demons. Joe Flaherty was born on June 21, 1941, and played Herm Evans in Frasier, 2002, at age 61. His character's awkward charm reflected Flaherty's brilliant comedic timing but belied a turbulent private life. His marriages ended in acrimonious divorces, with bitter custody battles exposing family fractures and allegations of infidelity and substance abuse. Professionally, Flaherty was blacklisted in parts of Hollywood after publicly clashing with powerful producers, which stalled his career in the 1990s. Close friends reported his hidden struggles with prescription drug addiction and severe depression, though he masked this behind his humor. Notorious for a volatile temper, he was feared for explosive outbursts on set, complicating collaborations despite his undeniable talent. Flaherty died on April 1, 2024, aged 82, following a brief illness, leaving behind a legacy tinged with both laughter and tragedy. Bob Hoskins was born on October 26, 1942, and played Coach Fuller in Frasier, 2003, at age 61. Fuller was the archetypal tough, no-nonsense sports coach who clashed hilariously with Frasier's polished, intellectual demeanor, bringing a raw edge to the refined Seattle setting. Hoskins's career, marked by gritty performances in films like Mona Lisa and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, hid a darker side rarely seen publicly. Despite his on-screen charm, Hoskins struggled privately with alcoholism, a battle he never fully disclosed until late in life. Colleagues whispered about his volatile temper on set, which sometimes led to tense outbursts, and his fierce resistance to Hollywood's glitz often isolated him socially. His personal life was equally turbulent, marked by a difficult marriage that ended quietly but painfully, and a long-term struggle with Parkinson's that he faced with stoic defiance. Hoskins died on April 29, 2014, aged 71, from pneumonia related to his illness, leaving behind a legacy shadowed by private pain behind the celebrated performances. David Ogden Stiers was born on October 31, 1942, and appeared as Leland Barton in Frasier, 2003, at age 61. His portrayal combined warmth and subtle humor, reflecting the complexity of Stiers himself. Openly gay late in life, he endured decades of secrecy due to Hollywood's homophobic climate, which not only limited his career opportunities but also led to covert blacklisting. His long-term relationship ended amid painful rumors of emotional abuse and infidelity, revealing the cracks behind his polished public persona. Professionally, Stiers often faced frustration due to typecasting and exclusion from leading roles, despite his evident talent. In private, he battled bladder cancer, a struggle he kept mostly out of the public eye. His final years were marked by isolation and growing bitterness toward the hypocrisy he perceived in the industry. Stiers passed away on March 3, 2018, aged 75, remembered as a gifted actor whose life was shadowed by personal hardship. Christopher Reeve was born on September 25, 1952, and took on the guest role of Leonard in Frasier, 1993, at 41. Leonard was a character layered with vulnerability, mirroring the actor's own real-life fragility following his iconic Superman days. Reeve's career skyrocketed only to be tragically derailed by his 1995 horseback accident, but behind his public heroism lurked deeply private struggles. His marriage to Dana was marred by infidelity rumors on both sides, stirring whispered gossip rarely confirmed. There were reports of harsh disputes with producers over his post-accident roles and some bitter legal battles over medical decisions and care funding. His transformation from leading man to activist wasn't without controversy, as some industry insiders questioned the authenticity of his disability advocacy. Reeve died on October 10, 2004, aged 52, from cardiac arrest linked to complications of his spinal injury, his final years a blend of public reverence and private hardship. John McMartin was born on November 18, 1929, and played Fletcher Gray in Frasier, 1994, at age 65. Fletcher was a symbol of intellect and dignity, reflecting McMartin's refined theatrical career. Yet, McMartin's personal story was less serene than his polished roles suggested. Despite critical acclaim, he struggled with alcoholism and episodes of severe anxiety that led to several hospitalizations. His private life was marked by multiple failed marriages, often ending amid accusations of emotional neglect and infidelity. Industry insiders hinted at his difficult nature on set, describing him as unpredictable and prone to explosive arguments with directors and co-stars. Though he kept most scandals under wraps, whispers of legal disputes over estate and royalties surfaced late in his life. McMartin died on July 6, 2016, aged 86, from cancer, leaving behind a legacy complicated by private demons behind the stage. Mary Tyler Moore was born on December 29, 1936, and portrayed Marjorie in Frasier, 1994, at 58. Marjorie radiated grace and emotional depth, much like Moore herself, whose public image as a television icon masked a stormy private life. Behind the scenes, Moore battled chronic alcoholism, which she fought fiercely, though it sometimes cost her roles and led to public meltdowns rarely reported at the time. Her marriages were marked by intense conflict and bitter divorces, and her relationships with her children were strained, shadowed by periods of absence and reconciliation. Moore's advocacy for diabetes was fueled by her personal suffering, yet she often faced criticism for leveraging her illness for sympathy. Rumors of on-set power struggles and diva behavior circulated quietly in Hollywood gossip circles, painting a portrait of a woman both revered and feared. Moore died on January 25, 2017, aged 80, from cardiopulmonary arrest caused by pneumonia, her legacy a mix of triumph and turmoil. Bruno Kirby was born on April 28, 1949, and appeared as Mako in Frasier, 1993, at age 44. Mako was an energetic and fiery presence, a perfect fit for Kirby's vibrant yet complex personality. His career peaked with beloved roles in When Harry Met Sally and City Slickers, yet behind the scenes, Kirby faced severe bouts of depression and addiction that threatened to derail his success. Industry insiders knew him as difficult, prone to sudden mood swings and occasional confrontations on set that led to being blacklisted temporarily from some casting circles. His personal life was fraught with broken relationships and estrangement from his family, rumors swirling about secret gambling debts and near bankruptcy. Kirby's leukemia diagnosis came after years of neglecting his health amid career pressures. He passed away on August 14, 2006, aged 57, leaving a trail of unspoken pain beneath his charismatic facade. Who is your favorite character in Frasier? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.